All right. First of all, NFL. All right. You didn't sign anybody, CH. The Patriots. Are you concerned that they didn't sign anybody? Because the Steelers signed Mitchell Trubisky. That's funny. I see you leaning back and laughing. That's our quarterback now. Like T.O. said, that's my quarterback and was crying. I was thinking the same thing. But listen, I want to give Mitch a chance. Maybe because he's mobile. Ben has been a statue for about 5-6 years. Maybe Mitch can hand the ball off to Najee. It will be okay. We ain't hurrying to bet 65-1 to win the Super Bowl, but it's okay. Patriots don't really do nothing. Nothing. No. Everyone else in the division did, right? Well, the Jets don't, but the Jets are just in the division.
The Jets don't count anyway.
Yeah. The Dolphins go get Tyreek Hill, yesterday, day before?
Yesterday.
So now they got two on that. Obviously, the Bills are, circling the wagons again. Obviously, the odds on choice at 7-1 to win the Super Bowl. Where are your Patriots and all this? Just people saying the Patriots aren't even going to make the playoffs.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, Bill, last year was an aberration where he made a big splash, going out and getting Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith and spending some money on these guys, right? This year, he's obviously not doing that. They have they've got like $100 million in cap space next year. Oh. So I think he's very happy going after the second tier free agents this year, going after the draft this year and spending the money next year, I think. So it's a deep wide receiver draft. I think he's going to be fine going after a receiver or two in the draft. The two guys they did sign that they're bringing back, Trent Brown is big to come back on the offensive line, and James White coming back from his hip injury last year is a huge addition that Mac Jones didn't have last year, other than the first game and a half, I think. So am I worried if Pete Carroll was the coach or if Dick McPherson was still a coach and, we're going in the Wayback Machine? I'd be concerned, but in Bill we trust, and I've got nothing to complain about for a little while. So I'm okay with where they're at right now.
Newbie, as the NFC guy of the group, your Eagles sit back, don't really do anything, but everybody's going to the AFC. Russell Wilson to Denver. Now Tyreek Hill to Miami. Obviously, Adams goes to the Raiders to play wide receiver. Like, a lot of shit is happening. Everybody kind of migrating to the AFC. Rodgers stays in Green Bay. Tampa gets the guy back. I mean, he never left. We knew he was never leaving, but he stayed. Eagles are sitting there. First thought, Eagles, what are we doing? 2, should we just both play to win the NFC, Tampa and Green Bay, and forget about the rest of the NFC?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously, and I talk about this all the time, that I'm not really a futures guy or whatever, but those are the two top dogs. But how often do the top dogs, at least in the NFC, always be the ones who are dominating, always be the ones who are winning out? You look at the Rams, I think that their expectations kind of change as the season went on. They're the team that ends up getting home, but everything was Aaron Rodgers. He's going to end up choking, and now he doesn't have Devontae to help pad stats for him. So I think the NFC is more wide open than ever. I think the one thing that kind of throws the hair in all of it is, I'll even preemptively do it, Tom Brady being in the NFC. Is there any correlation to the fact that he says, I'm coming back, and everybody says, I'm getting the fuck out of the NFC? There very well may be, but I think they're wide open, and the AFC is just a minefield, man. I mean, even if you just look at the AFC West is a freaking minefield. Yeah. So, we kind of touched upon this a little bit last week, that I think the parity in the NFL is going to be at an all-time high coming up this season. I wouldn't even place a future bet on anybody, because I think, if anything, that last year showed who had the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl. This is not your grandfather's 90s NFL anymore, where it's just top dogs rolling over people.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's just, it seems so, I don't know if wide open is the point. It's very top heavy. Like, there seems to be like
various tiers now that are in, but again, with the talent level that's kind of getting spread out, and with a decent skill player draft, I think, I wouldn't be placing any futures before the draft is what I'm saying. I probably am not going to place any after, but until we see what ends up happening, before we see how this shakes out, and I guarantee you with how crazy this offseason's been, there's some more moves to come. I wouldn't be taking money and letting the book hold on to it for me for X amount of months with the lack of information that we have and the information that keeps coming
in. Looking at the AFC North odds right now at FanDuel. And the Cleveland Browns are plus 185. The Ravens are plus $2. The Bengals are plus 220. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are now plus 850. First of all, that's ridiculous. Complete blasphemy that the Steelers are that big of a dog. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win it, but what are you people doing? These people should be betting the Steelers to win a division. Just saying. No, don't do that, because then you'll come at me at SportsBK and say he's a homer and all that shit. No,
it might be the Pittsburgh gear you're rocking today seeping into the brain.
It is. Pittsburgh nighttime and Pittsburgh behind me all the time. It's fine. CH Watson, apparently acquitted of all the shit. He gets traded to Cleveland. Cleveland's now the favorite to win a division, and they're like the fourth or fifth choice in the AFC to win the whole thing. Does that move the meter to you to go, Cleveland's one of the teams to beat in the AFC right now?
Well, I think if you look at last year, I think a lot of people going into the season thought Cleveland was a contending team for the AFC, right? Even though they had Baker at quarterback. I think Deshaun Watson, I was very high on trying to bring him to New England before the draft last year, and all this bullshit happened with him. I think he's a top 5 quarterback, assuming that he's going to come back where he left off and isn't going to have a huge drop off. So yeah, I think Cleveland should be the favorite to win the division. And I think, I said a couple of weeks ago that when you look at the AFC, it's Kansas City and Buffalo. I don't think it's Kansas City and Buffalo anymore. It could be Cleveland and Buffalo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, but you see the AFC North. I mean, you've lived it, Dave, for your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we have to be seduced by the Browns preseason hype? Like
I love it.
I feel like this has fallen into, multiple times that this has happened where, we get excited about the Browns, and then what do the Browns do? They become the Browns. So I think, to CH's point, I think if they were ever able to turn that corner, it's probably with what they have in place and now becoming a destination. But,
hold on.
Browns.
Did you just say Cleveland becoming a destination?
I mean, look at who they're inking. I mean, I don't mean as the city, but look at same way as now Cincinnati is a destination. Nobody wants to fucking go to Cincinnati, but they want to play with Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Like
I want to play with Joe.
The cards have changed a little bit, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I'll agree with that. I got to see him on the field. I got to see the way he comes back before I, push judgment in. If I was in a book, I'd be like going like this, waving everybody on. Come bet Cleveland all you want. Because he's going to be suspended. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be 6 and reduced to 4. Who knows what it's going to be? Nobody knows shit. We all know that. But I would pump the brakes a little bit on Cleveland and making reservations to go to Arizona for the Super Bowl. Really, really slow. I don't even know what the season wins would be yet. We'll have all those after the draft. The draft is coming up. It's here in April, the last weekend of the month. People, if you're coming, don't call me. I don't want to come out and see you. I had enough of all you this first weekend. Please. No, I'm just kidding. You can DM me. I don't know if I'll answer you back. That's the problem. You got to reach out.
You can see everybody in February for the Super Bowl.
That's it. Oh yeah. No. We'll be together before that. We're planning some other stuff. We'll let you know about that. All right. This question came up on a rundown before we get out of the football. I thought this was kind of amusing. Do you want Baker Mayfield? Would you take Baker Mayfield as your quarterback? Now, my options is Mitchell Trubisky or Baker Mayfield. I'm like, man, this is like a cruel joke. I mean, I'm one of the co-hosts of the show, but I feel like you're picking on me. I don't really want either one of them, to be perfectly honest, but I'll take Mitch right now. I think his upside a little bit higher. Baker's a cool dude, though. I think he'll be successful if he's healthy and if he has an offensive line that will protect him. I think he's got it. He's got that quarterback thing. I just don't think he was given the right tools, had to learn a new offense every other year or every year consecutively for like 3 years, coaching carousel, circus coming in with prima donna guys. I'm not sure. But newbie, I mean, you got your guy. You don't want Baker to take, you wouldn't take Baker over him, would you?
I wouldn't take Baker over Hurts, but I think it's a case by case basis of, I'm kind of with you. I don't think Baker is as bad as everybody says he is. I think he's one of those quarterbacks that's a guy. And when he's hot, but he's also so temperamental that he's not one of those guys who has the ice in the veins, which is really what you need from an NFL quarterback. But he's athletic. He can make throws, but is he the guy? No, I personally, with what I saw from Jalen Hurts, I'm glad that the Eagles stayed pat. I think he kind of earned having a second year, a second go around. And, just look around the league. What quarterbacks, if you're a fan base, do you think you would take Baker over? I don't know, CH, if any come to mind for you, because I know you're not saying, forget Mikey McCorkle, give me Baker Mayfield.
No, you're not doing that. But like Matt Ryan, the Colts picked Matt Ryan over Baker Mayfield, over Jimmy G. Like,
I mean, that's a good question. Jimmy G or Baker Mayfield.
What do you think, CH? I mean, I for me, that's a no-brainer. I'll take Mayfield in that spot. I mean, Jimmy G is great, but his ceiling is lower. I think
he's fragile.
Is higher. And he gets hurt. But I mean, Baker's tough. He played through those injuries.
Right.
Matt Ryan on the Colts, does that sell you better than Baker Mayfield, CH?
Well, it's the quarterback of the year, right? I mean, they'll use him for a year and then he'll retire, or they'll ship him off somewhere else and pay a fortune for him, and they'll bring in somebody else. And this is the 5th or 6th year in a row that they've had a new starting quarterback on opening night.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to wonder, where's the continuity over there? Somebody's got to be thinking, Reich's got to be thinking, when do I get a quarterback that I can have for a couple of years?
Does he draft? They don't draft one this year, right?
No.
Who would they?
No, I don't think they do.
Man.
But I'm really surprised, Dave, that you'd rather have Mitch than Baker. Mitch just he doesn't do anything for me.
People that I respect are telling me to be patient and say he can, if coached correctly and told, don't fucking turn the ball over, and mean it, don't fucking turn the ball over, the Steelers are going to be okay, because he can actually throw the ball down the field. Physically, he can do the job that Roethlisberger couldn't do. And when shit hits the fan, he can run, which Roethlisberger couldn't do. Right. They got wide receivers and they got the horse. There's no question Najee is going to be the back. So they may go back old school and run the ball 25 times a game, keep it close to the vest. He throws 14 for 18 for 137, and, they win 17-14. Who knows? I mean, I think that's an easier sell than coming in like Baker, because wherever he goes, he brings the smoke. It's you got to perform. This might put him in check. I mean, if he ends up in Seattle getting his ass handed to him every game, that's going to be brutal for Baker Mayfield, but it might take a step back. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, we have to discuss the NFL because, it is the NFL and we talk football every week on the show. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.